Camera. No. No action. No.
Okay. So from what I'm seeing, you guys are kind of remembering the stuff. Just quick review. We're not spending a ton of time with this stuff, but it's been a while, so that's why I wanted to do them. The slope formula, you guys know this. We did it a lot in the first semester. If I give you 2 points, the formula is m equals... Nope, that's the next one. To find the slope. Yep. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You take the y value and the second ordered pair, and you subtract the y value and the first ordered pair. And you take the x value in the second ordered pair, and you subtract the x value in the first ordered pair. Not rocket science. You guys can do this stuff. I don't say that if I don't think you can do it. I think you guys can subtract numbers, and if you can't, that's why God created calculators. So plug it in. So m, let's look at number 2. M equals, we take, what is y2? What is the y value and the second ordered pair? Negative 2. We're looking at number 2, not number 1. So m equals negative 2, the second y value, minus 7. Good. Over the second x value, which is
negative 11.
Minus the first x value, which is negative 11. Be careful. It is minus the negative 11. So you have a minus plus you have that negative 11. On top, negative 2 minus 7, negative 9 over negative 11 minus a negative makes the middle 2 plus plus. Negative 11 plus 11, 0. If I get a 0 in the bottom of my fraction, my answer is
A whole number.
undefined.
Oh.
If I get a 0 on top, my answer is 0. 0 on bottom, undefined. 0 on top is 0. Questions on that? You probably remember that one. Zach, close the computer. Thanks. Okay, let's look at slope-intercept formula. This is the formula you just said. Y equals mx plus b is slope-intercept formula. You've seen this before. It's just like one of the big things in first semester. M stands for what? Slope.
Yeah.
B stands for the y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-axis? So all you're going to do for these two examples is plug in the slope in front of x and then put the y-intercept after the x. So please do not overthink this section. If I look at number 2, write a linear equation with the slope of 3/4 and a y-intercept of negative 5. What will that be? Y equals, what's the slope?
Negative 5.
3/4. Put it in front of x, so y equals 3/4 x minus 5, and that's your answer. Okay. Now, the back page is a little trickier, standard form. Now, if someone remembers standard form, I'll let you spin the wheel off the notes, and you can win fun things like minus an Alex topic, or standard form, back of the last page, top of the last page. Standard form. I'll be impressed if anybody remembers standard form. I'll let you spin that wheel for the wheel of funness. Standard form, Zach? Nope. Sorry. Zach, other Zach? Yeah, good job. Nice. I'll let you spin the wheel at the end. So, ax plus by. Some of my freshmen second block were like, -1 Alex, that sounds stupid. I'm like, you'll enjoy that. If you've done Alex before, you'll enjoy doing one last topic a week. So you don't understand the nice one. Okay. So standard form, ax plus by equals c. Basically, x and y are on the left side, the number is on the right side. Okay? So let's look at number 2. If I look at number 2 and I want to find the x and y intercept, to find the x-intercept, we plug 0 in for y. This is how you find the x-intercept. You plug 0 where y is. Think about it. If I want to know the x-intercept, I want to know what x is equal to. So plugging 0 in for y gets rid of the y part. I don't want to plug 0 in for x because then I'm not going to know what x equals because I get rid of x. So if I want to know the x-intercept, I plug 0 or y, get rid of the y part, and then I can solve it for x. What's 5 times 0?
0.
So that's gone. 2x equals 20. Divide by 2. X equals 10. So your x-intercept is 10. I know this is kind of tricky, but you can do the work. We are basically plugging in 0. You get a simple equation, and you know how to solve it. The y-intercept. If I want to know what y equals, I want to get rid of the x by plugging in what? 0 for x. So you take your original, you plug 0 in for x, which then will allow you to find what y equals. Two times 0 is gone, it's 0. 5y equals 20. It's a simple equation. Divide by 5, half you already said it, y equals 4. Don't make this harder than it is. We're plugging 0 in and then solving the easy equation. 2. Now, the slope-intercept form, remember, that's y equals mx plus b, so I need to take my equation and I need to solve it for y. I'm going to do this up here, top. I'm going to take that equation, 2x plus 5y equals 20, and get y alone. So I'm going to take standard form, I'm going to get y alone, so it's in slope-intercept form. What do I do first to get y alone? Subtract the 2x. Number 2. It asks for the slope-intercept form. So you take the equation, we're getting y alone. So I subtract the 2x first. So 20 minus 2x. You can't subtract them because the x is with the 2, so you just leave it like that. You're good. How do I get y alone? Divide everything by 5. Y equals 20 divided by 5. 20 divided by 5, 4. Can I actually divide 2 by 5? So you leave it 2/5 x. So your slope-intercept is y equals 4 minus 2/5 x. Or you could have negative 2/5 x plus 4, however you want to write it. Okay, let me look at one more equation with you. One more example. Let's look at down at the bottom. What if I graph it? Let's graph it. You're fine. Because we know how to do this. We did this. We are doing 3. Great minds think alike. Okay, if I want to graph this, get it in y equals mx plus b form first, because that's easier to graph. If I look at 3, it's in standard form. So I have 3x minus 2y equals negative 6. Just like I did, I want to get y alone. What do I do first to get y alone?
Subtract 3x.
Subtract the 3x. Good. So negative 2y equals negative 6 minus 3x. What do I do next? Divide by negative 2. So y equals negative 6 divided by negative 2. Negative 6 divided by negative 2. Positive 3. Negative 3 divided by negative 2. Can I actually divide those? No. And I have a negative over a negative, so that becomes a positive 3/2 x. why do I want to get y alone? Why is that helpful? Yeah, so I like getting it in this form so I can graph it. Why? Why is it easier? What things can I find when it's y equal? What two things can I find really easily when it's y equals? The slope. What will the slope of this equation be?
3 over 2.
Perfect. What else is really easy to find? Yes, the b value, which is 3. That's why this like y equals is like put in your head a ton in first semester, because it's easy to graph. When I want to graph this, what do I graph first, the y-intercept or the slope? I have to have a starting point. I have to have the y-intercept. If the y-intercept is 3, how do I graph that? 1, 2, 3. So I have to have the starting point first before I can do rise over run. So my point comes from the y-intercept. I put a point on the y-axis at 3. How do I get to the next point? 1, 2, 3. Right 2. Slope is rise over run. So I go up 3 because it's a positive 3, and I go right 2 because it's a positive 2. My line is going uphill because my slope is a positive 3/2. Now, some of these are easier because they're already y equals. I chose to do a harder one with you. 1 and 2 are already y equals. So it's easier to graph because you don't have to convert it to y equals first. 5 and 6 are easy to graph. I'm not going to do it with you, but real quick on 5. If I have x equals a number, what type of line is that? Vertical. So 5, x equals is a vertical line. 6, y equals is a horizontal line. Okay? Kind of remember graphing stuff? Okay, I don't want to talk anymore because I've talked enough. So, finish the rest of the packet. If you need help, let us know.